The notion, the director from Alex Garland, that this film would kind of adhere to the realities of cinema versus the reassurances of cinema, I found really interesting. And how exciting was that for each of you, knowing that was so different, and how much did you feel that day to day?
Yeah, I mean, it was just from the point of view of reading the script for the first time. It was sort of quite plainly obvious in just how the script was structured, because there was no it was structured in a very unique way, whereby you could tell that the people that had written it had concentrated on, were only concerned with the depiction of a passage of time in a very specific time and place and a very specific group of people, and that was kind of just interesting in and of itself, and that the sort of creative principles behind that only became more clear the longer we were involved, and from both from Ray's perspective and also from Alex's perspective, in very different ways, but ultimately the same. But Ray came out about it from the truth of providing, first-hand authenticity that was more specific to the occupation of these men, and Alex, I feel, came at it more from a sort of a stringent artistic.
Technical, probably.
No, but he was very concerned with truth. He just really wanted it to be true.
Yeah.
And that's obviously from an artistic perspective, that's an amazing thing.
Sure. And when you're in the middle of that, and you both have done so much work, when you're in the middle of something like that, how different does it feel when you're offset between takes, when it's the weekend and you guys are catching up with each other and staying in that unit? Does it feel like something totally fresh and different than anything you've ever done?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked on the odd sort of ensemble piece before, but this was the most sort of the most extreme version of that, I'd say. We were there was almost an expectation for us to live in each other's space, basically. There wasn't any room for a recluse. It was just we had to sort of act as a unit, act as a team, which had it been a different group of guys, then maybe that would have been more difficult. But I think because it was such a fantastic group of people, and people that I personally really respected and appreciated, and grew to love quite quickly, it became one of the best parts of the job. We didn't actually want to. I didn't want to eat dinner on my own. I wanted to have food with everyone. I wanted to talk about the day. I wanted to talk about the work that we were going to do tomorrow. It was a very loving, nurturing, supportive environment.
Yeah, how nice, considering the kind of the work and how hard I'm sure this was day to day as well. And besides the regular training one would expect, and I know you guys did, but just kind of that emotional and psychological training you had to do to get to the place you needed to be for your character. What was that like?
I suppose it was all fostered by this boot camp that we did. We had a 3-week boot camp, which was a luxury. We learned a lot within that amount of time, and we used that time to rehearse the material that was seen in the film. We rehearsed it like a play, and then we did some weapons training, and then we did some kind of maneuver training so that we looked like SEALs come the first day of shooting. Psychologically, it informed everything, just kind of creating this culture of care within the kind of combat template was essential. And I think, you'd have moments where it was, you'd feel a little bit, it's complex stuff, but you had all of these friends that you built these relationships with, so you never really felt alone, which was it's quite rare in this game, and it was a beautiful lesson and a beautiful addition. And the thing is, we've all come away from the making of this film very good friends, which is, you're lucky to get a friend on one job, but we had many on this.
Yeah, I'm sure this is, because it's unique in so many ways. How does a job like this change you in terms of what's next, and not everything could live up to this kind of special experience, I would think. So, besides being glad you had it, does that affect what comes after and what kind of roles you choose and what knowing an experience like this could be like?
Just the amount of material we got. Like, I think the first shoot day we got something like 9 hours of rushes or something like crazy, because we were using these two like kind of state-of-the-art like innovative cameras. They were very small, and we were able to kind of shoot 7-minute takes at a time, and just so we had so much material. And I guess the discipline and the energy required to kind of keep that energy up on a shoot day and keep that going for 5 weeks was demanding, but also very thrilling. So kind of the next thing you do after that is gonna have its own challenges and its own issues that you need to, or kind of challenges that you need to overcome. But it felt pretty. I need to be careful with my words. It's just different. Yeah. It's always different, and you want it to be different. But this was a very singular experience, and I don't think it's something that I'm going to experience anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's a singular experience for the viewer too. It's very exciting and very special as you're watching this. So it's well done to all three of you.
Thank you.
Just lastly, we have a minute left or so left. Just speaking of warfare, a different kind of warfare. How excited are you about the possibilities of what's next with Shogun?
I have no feelings.
Not at all.
No, I mean I know that they're working on it, and that's all I know.
Okay, very good.
They're working very hard on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
They'll be there eventually, hopefully. Yeah.
Hope so.
Okay, very good. And I know you can't say much either, but there was a big announcement yesterday. And what are you most looking forward to about your next year or so or more working on the Avengers world?
I think we're going to go tighter with the suit this time. We're going to really see how far we can go with that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, that'll be something to look forward to. Guys, really well done on this one, though. This was a lot of great work. I know a lot of heart and energy and soul and sweat went into this, and it all showed. So
Thank you very much.
congratulations.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, real pleasure.